Alrighty. Ugh, beautiful spring pollen-y day, but it's a nice day. I think we're going to start laying down and let's do a heart opener. So before you lay down, grab your blanket and I want you to like make sure it's folded nicely, right? Because you don't want any lumps or bumps. And then I just want you to take it at one of the long ends and roll it up. So it's like that long thin Tootsie Roll. And then place it at the back of the mat or the back of the mat. And then leave about 6 to 8 inches between your pelvis or your sacrum and your, boy, I'm gonna have trouble today. I can already tell. I'm like losing body parts and everything. And then begin to like recline back so that your spine settles on top of the bolster. And then reach your hands up behind you, grab hold of the top of that, and then just roll it up. So you find that the base of the skull just gets a little bit of a lift and a rest. And then you can let the arms relax out to the sides with the palms facing up. So make a decision about your legs. You might want to have them nice and wide, like in that Shavasana, like pose, corpse pose, or you can keep the knees bent, walking the feet to the edges of the mat, and then letting the knees fall in towards one another. So either way. And then once you're in this position, closing the eyes, finding the breath, a nice, slow, steady breath. Breathing in through the nose as much as you can and out through the nose, slowly and controlled, letting the breath become your anchor as you follow it. Breathing in, breathing out. And as you fall into the rhythm here, noticing any areas of the body that need some attention, just softening. So for me today, I feel it across my forehead and a little bit in my shoulders. Probably overthinking some things today. Right, just release. Each exhale, release. Release a little bit more. Feeling yourself going heavy. Just offering a moment of gratitude for yourself for showing up this evening. If anything else comes to mind, holding that intention in your heart as you practice tonight. A few more breaths right here before we start, no rush. And then opening the eyes as you're ready, just go ahead and you can come up onto the elbows or just roll over to one side. We're going to make our way up into a comfortable seat. So if you want to take that bolster and sit up on it, right, you can do that. So you have a little lift here. And I want you to bring that right leg in front of the left. So I'm drawing so that my heels are in front of one another. Right? I'm sitting up nice and tall. We're going to inhale, reach those arms up and overhead, interlace the fingers, push away and draw the shoulder blades down the back. Hold here, finding that nice length through the spine, knitting the ribs together. And then on the exhale, round over. So pull the belly in, drop the chin to the chest, a little seated cat and cow. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And then exhale, belly pulls in and we round. Again, inhale, lifting. Exhale, draw it in and round down. Good. Letting the hands release, go ahead and come to a nice, comfortable seated position with a tall spine. We're going to take those fingertips out in front of us, and then on our next exhalation, begin to walk them forward. So we're just kind of coming into this easy forward fold. Doesn't matter if you're hitting the floor or not. We want to find that, again, that nice long spine growing out through the crown of the head, big full breaths in and out. And then on the next breath, walk those fingers over to the right. So we're drawing that left hip down, right? We're stretching out through the chest. And then let that right hand just plant down. And then inhale, take that left arm up. So we're sort of like welcoming the sun, right? We're like, we want to give it a big hug and squeeze. Gaze up. And then exhale, take that hand back down. Maybe it crosses on top of the right hand. Look to your right. So we're sort of rolling around here. Inhale, open. Let that chest open. Exhale, taking it down. A little rounding of the spine is okay. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then walk those fingertips back through center. We'll find our way back up to a seat. Take that left foot, bring it in front of the right. Repeating that same sequence. Inhale, arms extend up and over the head. Interlace the fingers. Press. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Start working on that breath to movement, right? Good. Coming into that neutral spine, let those hands come down. We'll bring those fingertips out in front of us with a nice inhale, and then exhale, taking those hands forward again. Hold here, lengthen, breathe, and then walk those fingertips over to the left. So we're stretching out through that right side body. We're pressing down into that right hip, finding length. Filling up the back, sides, front of the lungs. Good. And then plant that left hand down. Inhale, right arm reaches up. And then exhale, we close it down. Look to your left. Inhale, follow the hand with the gaze. Exhale, we lower and we just keep revolving to the left. One more time. Inhale, stretch and strengthen. Good. And exhale, take that hand down. Walk those fingertips back through center and then all the way up. Good. Let's roll over onto hands and knees. So we're coming into our table position. You can take your props and move them off to the side and just swing your hips side to side. So a little bit of like sashaying. You can look at that hip as it sort of goes from one side to the other. Nice. And then tucking those toes under, we're going to start to work into that core area. So finding a hover here, I want you to press down firmly into the hands, shoulder blades back, and then lift the knees. Find a hover. And exhale, release. Again, press down, lift. And release. Last time, lift up. We're going to go right into our downward dog. So just straighten out the knees as you're ready. You may want to walk your feet a little bit wider apart. All right, we're going to let those heels begin to grow heavy. Settling into the breath. I want you to come all the way up onto the tippy toes as high as you can. And then exhale, come down. Again, lift high. And release. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, release. Good. Walk your hands back to your feet, finding a standing forward fold at the back of the mat. Head relaxed. And we're going to, from here, just inhale, lift halfway. So take those hands somewhere to the shins or the thighs. The crown of the head reaches forward. And then again, exhale, release. I want you to go ahead and bring your left hand right out in front of you. The right hand is going to come onto the sacrum. Bend the left knee and then twist to the right. Maybe that right arm extends up towards sky. So we're bending into the leg that the same hand is on the ground. Looking down at the floor, go ahead and bring the right hand to the mat, left hand to the sacrum. Bend deeply into that right knee and then open the chest to the left. Reach the arm up. Keep that left leg straight. Right leg is bent. Nice. And then gently release back through center. Good. Let the head hang. Bend the knees. Walk your hands forward. Let's find plank pose. Feeling the breath here. And pressing back to downward facing dog. Inhale again, flow into your plank. This time come onto the knees. Exhale, child's pose, taking the hips to the heels, the forehead to the floor. Come up onto those fingertips. Stretch out through the arms, stretch through the shoulders, and inhale, come back up into table. Tuck the toes under and find downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and release. Let that left hand come to the floor. Bend the left knee, right hand to the sacrum and twist. Look at the floor. Go ahead and take the right hand to the floor. Bend the right knee, straighten the left, twist to the left. Good. Coming back through center. Walking our hands forward into a nice strong plank. Exhale onto the knees. And again, make your way into a child's pose. Inhale, come forward into your plank, into your table. Let's swing that right leg off the mat, step on the left foot, and find our way into a modified side plank. So left arm is up. See if you can't maybe reach it over the head, maybe lift the leg. See if you can get that leg parallel with the hip. Nice. Release the foot. Let's make our way up, finding a little gate pose here as the right arm reaches up. And we exhale, opening. So rotate that shoulder, right? We really want to work in that chest opening rather than kind of dumping down to the floor. Like shining your heart to where the corner, the ceiling and the wall meet. Last breath here. Good. Release the right hand. Release the left. Let's come onto our hands and knees. Just go ahead and wag the tail, shake it out a little bit. We're going to go right to the other side. So take that left foot off the floor, step onto that right foot and rise up into that modified side plank. Again, you can stay or you can find a little balance challenge. Good. Slowly releasing that foot, make your way all the way up. Let that right hand slide down the leg as that left hand comes up, gaze up. Slowly release the left hand, followed by the right, finding our table. Tuck your toes under, press it back, downward facing dog. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Inhale, lift halfway, and then exhale, release. Bend the knees or straight. Inhale, root to rise, arms up and over the head. Exhale, bring the palms to heart center and close the eyes. So finding a nice strong Tadasana mountain pose, right? We're building from the ground up. Feel your feet rooting down, slight lift in the arches. We want those ankles to draw away from one another, right? We want to feel those thighs lifting, the tailbone long, the chest lifting into the thumbs, right? The sternum growing out tall through the crown of the head, as if we were dangling from a string. Top of our body feeling very light. Take one last breath here. And then inhale, sweep those arms out and up overhead. And then exhale, take them down behind the back. Interlace the fingers at the back. And we're just going to go ahead and draw those shoulder blades back so we have a bend in the elbows. Yeah. From here, we're going to take that right foot and step it forward and turn the left toes out. So we're trying to keep drawing that left hip forward here. Keep that fist or that open fist on the sacrum. And then I want you to open up on the inhalation and look up. On your exhale with the legs straight, just go ahead and extend yourself forward between your legs. So the crown of the head, the chest is moving right between the legs. If you want to open up that leg a little bit wider, so it's a little bit more of a train track, right? Rather than being hips width distance, you can do that too. So find this flat back. Maybe now you extend the arms. So we're straightening the arms back behind us, lifting the core, open chest, open heart, big breath, and then press all the way up to stand. Good. Bend into that right knee. We're going to keep those hands right back again on the pelvis. Twist to the right. So it's going to look a little bit different this time, yeah? We're going to hold here and we're going to exhale over the bent knee. So we're going to keep that left knee bent and we're just going to take that chest as if we were going to rest it on that knee. And we're going to stretch those arms out again. So a little modified pyramid to start. And then press all the way up. Good. Go ahead and bring those palms to heart center. Keep that bend in the right knee and lift the left leg hip height. Find a balance here. We're going to take that right hand to the outside of the left knee and open up to the left. If you fall out like I just did, that's okay. Good. Come back through center. Step forward with that left foot. Turn the right toes out. Good. We're going to take those hands behind the back. And as we do, maybe the opposite thumb comes on top this time. So pressing down into the feet, lift through the chest, big breath, exhale right between the legs, crown of the head moving forward, pressing forward with the front foot, back with the back foot. Maybe we straighten the arms. Keep drawing that right hip forward, breathing gently. Try not to over breathe or under breathe. And then inhale, press yourself up. Good. Go ahead and bring those hands back to the sacrum. We're going to bend into that knee this time. Again, making sure our hips are facing forward. Here's our inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to take the chest over that left leg. Once we come to a nice comfortable position, again, those arms can straighten if you like. Gaze is at the floor in front of you. That modified pyramid, we're going to straighten the leg in a moment. And then inhale, good. Come all the way back up. Bring those palms to heart center as you step forward. And then lift that right foot hip height. Step forward with that right foot. Bring the left foot up. We find ourselves at the top of the mat. Inhale, reach those arms out and up. Big breath in. Exhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Find your chair. Sit as low as you can. I want you to bring your weight into the left foot. Come onto the ball of the right. We're going to lift the right foot and step it back, coming into a high lunge. Trust yourself, the floor is there. Here's our inhale, exhale, twist. Inhale, lift. Exhale, we twist. Inhale, we lift one more time. Exhale, we open. Drop your back hand and then reach your right arm up. Beautiful. Keep a nice full bend in that front leg. Good. Take those hands to the floor. Step that left foot back to meet the right one, plank pose. Let's find a flow. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Up dog or baby cobra. And we take it back to downward facing dog. Looking forward, find the top of the mat. Bring those feet together. Bend the knees, and we're back into chair pose again from the floor this time. Sink as low as you can. Keep that weight in the right foot, come up onto the ball of the left. Trust yourself here. You can bring those palms to prayer. Step all the way back with that left foot. Inhale, reach those arms up. Twist open. Inhale up, facing forward. Inhale, open. Good, keep it going one more time. This time as we extend the arms, let's drop that back hand to the back thigh and let that left arm reach up. Nice. Slowly bring the hands back to the floor. Step the right foot back to meet the left plank pose. You can hold here. You can come onto hands and knees. You can take a flow. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Nice, strong, deep breaths in and out. Good. Inhale, come forward, find your plank. We're going to take a side plank now. So if you want to do a modified, you can come down onto that knee, right? And then find your way in from there. Or you can start here and then see if you can't draw that back leg, the bottom leg straight, right? Find your way, whatever's going to work for you tonight. Building some strength here. Good, looking at the floor, I want you to come back through center. Let's come down onto the knees, give it a little shake. We're gonna take that right arm or that right wrist, the right palm, and turn it up. So the fingertips are pointing in towards the body. Little pressure here. Good, and then release the right hand, do the same thing with the left. Little stretch for the wrist. Good, take it back through center. Come onto that plank position again, or keep that left leg down, right? We're gonna find our side plank on the other side. So whether it's modified, all the way up. Hopefully you're building a little bit of sweat here, a little sweat equity. Last breath, come back through center. Come down onto the knees. This time find child's pose. Turn the palms face up in your child's pose. So just a different action with the arms, a little bit nicer of a stretch after what we just did. Take a few breaths here, let it go. You can always take a child's pose, right? If you get tired, if you need a reset, or tabletop, some people use downward dog. All of them work. Nice, take one more. Beautiful, and your next breath, let's come back up onto hands and knees. Tuck those toes under again and find downward dog. Let your gaze come up at your hip creases. Let those heels melt behind the toes. Press forward with those fingers. Knit those ribs together. Breathe here. And then walk the hands back to the feet. Bringing that forward fold, back of the mat. Nice. So our feet, if we're looking at our feet, they're about hips width apart, maybe a tad bit wider. We're going to come into a different chair pose before we go any further. So lift halfway, bend the knees, yeah? So again, we sort of feel like we're kind of coming into that skier's pose if we took our hands back behind us. I want you to set those hips down And then inhale, bring that chest up with the hands at prayer. So we're sitting really low and we have almost like this sumo squat, right? We've got our knees a little bit wider apart here. So we're going to shift our weight over to the left and come onto that ball of the right. And then we're going to see if we can't lift it up and cross the ankle on top. So our hips are starting to open and we're going to sit down. Right, we're going to flex into that foot. Our chest is lifted. Maybe you want to bring your hands onto the ankle, onto the knee. We're going to try and make a forward fold here. So sit down, bring the chest down. Maybe those hands come to the floor. Maybe they don't. Now notice that bent knee, right? We're going to try and straighten it or not. It's up to you. So we can stay right here in this forward folded one-legged chair, or we can begin to straighten that left leg. Finding the breath, settling in. You're feeling this in the hips, the hip flexors, IT. Beautiful. Come back down. We're going to make our way all the way out. Right? So we're going to bring our hands back. Woo, lost it. Come all the way up. Nice. And release that right foot. Close the eyes. Stay centered. We're going to move right into the other side from here. So on the next breath, go ahead and begin to settle into that wide-legged chair. Come up onto the ball of the left foot and then cross it over. So we've given ourselves a little leverage here, right? By just keeping those legs open. Again, once you sort of feel like you're settled, can you begin to bring your chest down or maybe keep the hands right here on the leg, right? Maybe you can fall forward. You might notice one side is not as easily adaptable than the other. It's okay. I want you to find your edge on whatever side you're working on and breathe. Rebend that knee, walk your hands back up the legs. Find your center, heart, hands at prayer. Beautiful. Good, and release that foot. Take a breath, close the eyes. We all should be at the back of the mat. One more full deep breath. Beautiful. And then opening the eyes, we're going to step forward again with that right foot. And we're going to turn those left toes out. Now, as we draw that left hip forward, again, those hands are going to come onto the small of the back, right? We're going to find our real pyramid here. So we're going to try and keep that front leg as straight as that back leg. We're going to begin to turn the torso to the right. Big breath in here, and then exhale, hinge over that right leg. You can stay with the arms on the back and the chest lifted, or you can let those arms stretch out. Folding over that leg as much as is comfortable for you with a flat back. Again, keep drawing that belly into the spine. Try not to grip your toes into the mat. We're just pressing actively forward and back. Lots of energy here, lots of work. Good. Now I want you to bend into that front leg. Let's go ahead and release the right hand to the floor. Let that left hand stay on the sacrum, and then pop yourself up into either all the way or just a modified warrior three. Not warrior three, but a modified, half moon, right? Either way, you can go all the way, you can just stay low. Beautiful. Release that back foot and find your way back up. All right, we're going to step that left foot to meet the right in the middle of the mat. Hands to prayer, close the eyes. So we're incorporating the balance, right? This stretching, this strengthening. All right, last breath here. We're going to step forward with that left foot. Turn those right toes out. As those hands clasp behind the back, take the opposite thumb up on top. Take the chest over that right leg on a nice gentle inhale, and then exhale, hinging over that left foot. So our gaze is out at the floor in front of us. We're pressing forward. We're reaching those hands back, right? We're coming as low as we can with that nice flat spine. Our hands are back here for a reason, to help keeping those shoulders together and the chest lifted. Last couple of breaths. Beautiful. Now bend into that knee, release the left hand out in front of you, and then again, play here. So maybe all you're doing is just lifting and lowering that back leg, right? Just kind of exploring balance. Maybe you're ready and you can actually lift that leg hip height and let the arm extend up. Good. Slowly release that foot. Come on up to a stand, and we'll walk to the front of the mat. Hands at heart center. Close the eyes. How do you feel? Beautiful. Open the eyes. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, pause, put those hands to heart center. As you hinge at the hips, find that standing forward fold with a moan. You can bend both knees, bring the hands to the floor, step or jump back, find a plank. And then a flow of your choice. I want you to take 3 full breaths in your downward facing dog and then find child's pose. Let those breaths be full. And then give yourself that rest. Maybe you want to explore those palms facing up, or maybe bring those palms together and back over the head. Good. Go ahead and release those hands back out in front of you. We're going to come up onto our knees and we're going to find another little open heart asana here in camel. So a couple of things that we can do tonight in camel to start, right? You can use your blocks, which I highly recommend if this is not a pose that, if you have like low back issues, or if you feel like your low back is not that strong. I want you to bring those blocks one next to the other on the mat. And then as you move in front of the blocks, right, you're going to take your toes and hook them to the edges of the blocks. And then you're going to kneel up. Now, if you're like, Leah, my knees hurt here, then you're going to take your blanket, right? And you're going to just kind of come off the blocks for a minute. This is where all these props come in handy. And you're going to move your blanket back so that your knees now have some padding. And then you're going to bring those toes and hook them back onto the edges of the mat. So BKS Iyengar, right? He is the guru, the father of all things props. So he believed that all of these tools around us are meant to be used because all of our bodies are different and we're all in different places. So these are useful to help us find the most authentic pose that we can, right, without hurting ourselves. So again, this is a really wonderful place to be. You can take your hands onto the sacrum here, either in fists or just with the palms. And all I want you to do is work your pelvis forward. So we're just taking our pelvis and we're drawing it forward. And you can feel how the fronts of the thighs are starting to stretch here. And you can also feel, right, that you're starting to round into the back. So you can hold right here and just gaze up. You don't have to go any further. In fact, let's just do this for a few breaths just to feel it. Draw the shoulder blades back. Huge heart opener here. Big, nice open chest. And this could be it. All right, we're going to come straight up again. So we can repeat that, or we can take it a little bit further. Now, some people really like when they come into this pose to like lift the arm and swing it all the way back and down. You don't have to do that. If you want, you just open the arm up, take it back and place the palm inside the heel. But I'll let you do whichever you choose. Or if you want, you can just take it to the next stage and just press the palms and just reach one arm up and stay, right? Like ole. You just have one arm up, and then when you're ready, you can take it the other arm up. So any of those are fine. Just keep pressing forward with the pelvis, right? If you're ready to take those hands back and you're taking the fingertips inside the heels, and the work here is to press the hands into the heels and the heels back into the hands. And that's when we can start opening and rounding, and that our head lifts even higher, right? And we have more of a back bend happening. And as you're ready, gently make your way up. So all we want to do here is just simply just kind of crawl forward for a minute. I want you to sit your hips on your heels and sit up and close your eyes. Let your hands rest on your thighs just for a minute here. Pull the belly and lengthen the low back. Very subtle move. Very subtle. And then we're just going to stack our fists one on top of the other and hinge forward. So the forearms are going to come to the ground. And we're just going to let the forehead rest. All right, go ahead and coming right back up again. Let's move our props. And make our way onto our belly. I'm going to take our favorite cheek to the floor and let the palms come face up alongside the body. Flipping the cheek to the other side. A little gentle stretch for the neck. And we're going to find our way into Sphinx pose. So as you come up, I want you to bring those arms. You're coming up onto those forearms and elbows. We're working into that thoracic spine, right? That middle of the back area. So with the feet a little bit wider than hips width distance apart, right? I want you to decide if you're going to keep those elbows right underneath and the palms straight ahead, or if you're going to sort of open yourself up into a V so that the fingertips are pointing to the corners of the mat. From here, we're going to begin to lift the belly button in. So it's just pulling and rounding. And we're going to notice that as we do that, right, we're sort of rounding into the shoulders. So the next step in our journey is to as we lift the belly button, we're going to draw that chest forward, traction our hands back, and our chin is going to come parallel to the floor. So we look like that Sphinx, right? We feel the shoulder blades drawing back away from the ears. We have to keep pulling that belly, and we have to use that, or it's going to dump into that low back, and that's going to hurt. So we have to keep that engagement in the core. Nice. And then go ahead and stack your forearms one on top of the other and just rest. We're going to do that again. And you're welcome to do it the exact same way. Or we're going to take it to the next krama or stage, which is going to be to straighten the arms. And when we straighten the arms, right, it's adding again a little bit more effort to that low back and to the belly for holding everything in place, okay? So you have to decide. Go ahead and bring your forearms back to the mat. Good. Slowly begin to lift that pelvis, lift that belly button off the floor. Actually, the pelvis is down, but the belly button is lifting up. All right, slowly opening up that chest. Maybe we lift up and straighten the arms, keeping that gaze forward. Last breath. Let those elbows release. Go ahead and stack those palms again. Bend the knees if you like. And you can even windshield wiper your legs back and forth. I'm going to take one more moment here on the belly. Let those feet gently come to the mat if you bent the knees. Bring the hands up underneath the shoulders, and let's just counter everything with a child's pose. So let's try with the knees nice and wide and the toes together. Just sit your hips back. Go super slow here until you melt into your most comfortable child's pose. Right? We're neutralizing the spine. We're taking it to the other end of what we just did. Who doesn't love child's pose? All right, making our way back upright. Let's come to one side, and we're going to sit up nice and tall. And then our Dandasana, our staff pose, right? Toes are pointing up. Sitting up nice and tall here. I want you to just feel this for a moment before we do any folding. I just want you to see the effort that requires to be still and to sit. The palms, the fingertips can be out to the side if you like. They can be on your lap. You want to draw them back behind you, you're welcome to. Just sit up straight, draw the belly in, open the chest. Imagine that beautiful white light just expanding out from your heart center. Maybe close the eyes. Beautiful. Taking our forward fold here, we're going to exhale. So we draw those hands forward, either onto the legs or the floor. Right? Remembering to keep that back nice and straight, like we're squeezing that toothpaste tube from the bottom. Right? We're not rounding the back. Chest stays lifted. We're not Adding any pressure to the neck or to the jaw. His toes are pointing up. All these things to think about. Too many. Too many. No, not really. Stay here and breathe. You come down just another millimeter. Give it your best shot. And then let's come all the way back up. Whew. We're going to bend the knees. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Finding a little bow pose. Again, beautiful open heart here. So maybe the hands come up underneath the knees, right behind the knees with the chest open, the elbows out. We sort of find our way back slightly, right? We can peel those toes up. We can come lift the feet off the floor and we can just play here like this, right? We can lift the knees so that they're, or lift the shins so that they're parallel to the knees. We can stay here, right? We can explore releasing the arms. We can take it into a full-on boat pose, right? With the legs all the way up and the arms all the way out. This hurts my coccyx bone. It's not very happy when I may do this pose, but take another breath or two. And then slowly coming out, wrap your hands around the shins. Take a breath. All right. So we're going to roll on down. We're going to extend the arms up over the head, big reach here. Stretching everything out. And then exhale, drawing the knees into the chest. Maybe a little spinal love as we kind of rock and roll back and forth or side to side. Good. Coming into some stillness, draw the knees back into the chest. And then lengthen as those arms go up and the legs go long. Exhale, pull those knees into the chest. Maybe the head comes up this time. Slowly release. Last time, arms up, legs long. We're going to walk our feet all the way over to the left and the arms over to the left. So we're looking like that banana and draw the right hip down. Maybe you want to cross that right ankle over the left. Just a little addition to the stretch. And we release, come back through center. Bring the knees back into the chest. Maybe make some figure eights or something. Whatever your body's craving. Beautiful. And then arms up, legs long. Walk the feet to the right and the arms to the right. Drop into that left hip. As you open the chest, maybe you cross the ankle. No, Ardha Chandrasana or half moon on the mat always feels good. Slowly taking it back through center. All right, we're gonna go ahead and bring the feet in. Grab your blocks for supported bridge this evening. So stacking the blocks up underneath the sacrum. Right, we want to bring those feet in towards the buttocks. Maybe we can even brush the heels. We're going to walk those shoulder blades up underneath the body. We're going to press the back of the head down. So the chin isn't getting crushed, right? The neck isn't getting crushed. We're like actively lifting the chest. And we're breathing. If you're comfortable coming into Viparita Karani on 2 blocks, you can just lift your legs, or you can just take 1 block out and find Viparita Karani on 1 block. 2 blocks is going to have a little bit deeper arching in the back. Might be a little too much. You have to decide. Inversions, always good for us, right? Relieving pressure and tension, giving the venous system a break from gravity. You've got standing on your feet, maybe you've got a little swelling, helps release some of that water buildup, that swelling in the ankles and the lower legs, the lower extremities that can happen. Helps balance the thyroid. There's so many benefits here. As you're ready, bring your feet to the floor. Go ahead and take the block or blocks out and let the spine settle. And go ahead and cross that right ankle over the left and bring the arms out to a T. Yeah. We'll just go ahead and let those legs fall to the left as you look over your right shoulder. And taking it back up through center, maybe you uncross the legs first. Cross that left ankle on top of the right knee. Inhale. Exhale, drop the legs over to the right. And look over your left shoulder. Release the top leg. And then make any final movements you'd like before Shavasana. Right, we started with that nice heart opener. You may want to do that again and roll up your blanket and just lie yourself back down so you can lay there with a beautiful stretch through the chest. Or if that doesn't serve you this evening, you can just take any posture that is, you know, you're going to stay still and not move for the next couple of minutes. So once you find that spot, I want you to just invite you to take a nice full deep breath in and exhale out. And if you need to take 1 or 2 more, feel free to do that. But I really want you to try to settle the breath, right? So that it moves back into the unconscious. And we're just here in this posture where we can absorb all of the good work that we've done this evening. Slowly beginning to bring your attention back to the room. Maybe placing a hand on the heart, one on the belly, noticing the rise and fall of the chest, the belly, letting the inhales grow bigger and fuller. And those exhales really drawing all that last bit of air out before we repeat. And finding some small movements, maybe with tapping the index finger or tapping the thumb to each finger, or just rubbing your fingers together, noticing how sensitive they are, wiggling the toes. We'll bring the soles of the feet to the floor, bending the knees. And usually in the evening, as we're settling in, we like to roll to the right side. And if you're watching this and you know the rest of your evening or day is busy, rolling to the left. We'll all make our way up to a comfortable seat. Let the eyes remain closed and the mind still as you can. Taking the hands behind the back, taking hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Let's close with Yoga Mudra. Inhale. Exhale, just hinge forward, sealing in the practice. Coming back upright. I'll close by saying, the light in me sees, recognizes, and honors that light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much. And I'll keep you posted on Sunday.